Here we are. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Bruchim Aboyim. The erste Yahrzeit von Moreno and Mishum David Alevi ben Moreno. Yitzhak Zev Alevi Zecher Tzadikim Levracha. Grace Achrayas on all of us Talmidim and Shomei Lekhai Maskir Nishmosai to take stock in the Achrayas of what is left for us to do from here on and in. Rashi says in Bereshis Lamed Zayin Lamed Hey. Yaakov Avinu was Vayemoen Leisnachem. So Rashi, Ein Adam Mekabel Tarnachumim Alachai. V'sover Shameis. Alameis Nigzero Gzera Sheishtakach Min Alei. Ulei Alachai. If a person is mace, there's a Gzera Zakrashi. Nigzero Gzera Sheishtakach Min Alei. The Gemara in Brachos, when it tells us that a mace is Nishtakach after Yud Beis Chodesh, does not use the Lashon Gzera. The Gemara in Brachos, Nun Chesam Abeis, Amar Rav, Ein Ameis Mishtakach Min Alei, Elo La'achar Shnei Mosa Chodesh. Shenema, Nishkachti Kameis Milei. Hayisi Kechli Oived. A pasuk in Tilim Lamed Aleph. Nishkachti Kameis Milei. Hayisi Kechli Oived. Tilim Lamed Aleph Yud Gimel. What is the David HaMelech adding on with the moshel of Kechli Oived? And the Gemara does not bring down Gzeira. Rashi brings down Gzeira. The emes, what does this mean? Alameis Shishtakach Min Alev. Ach Yud Beis Chodesh. We don't at all forget a mace after Yud Beis Chodesh. We have every Yahrzeit, there's Dinim and Shulchan Aruch, exactly what to do. Chiyuvei Aliyah, Kaddish. There's all kinds of Dinim every single year for years and years. Some people are Zoicha to keep Yahrzeits for 70. My father kept Yahrzeit for his mother over 75 years. What does it mean? Nishkachti Kameis Milev. After Yud Beis Chodesh, you forget the mace. Now the Pshat Muzayin Azoi. Steht in Bereshis Mem Aleph, Nun Aleph, steht Yosef HaTzadik gave the name Menashe Kinashani Elokim as Kol Amoli, that's Kol Beis Ovi. The Baruch made me forget Amoli, my hardship, and Kol Beis Ovi, the household of my father. What does that mean? Yosef HaTzadik forgot Beis Ovi. No way in the world did he forget Beis Ovi. Because I'll tell us the only way that he wasn't nichshel was because Nirelite must Yukna Shalaviv. Didn't forget him in the least. And the very fact that he's giving a name now is a right that he's remembering Beis Ovi. What does that mean, Nashani? Elikim is called Amoli, is called Beis Ovi. The diuk in the pasuk is a state Beis Ovi, nicht Ovi. Ovi, he didn't forget at all. He forgot Beis Ovi, meaning to say that he forgot the yoga and va'anocha of the separation of the gaguyim of that Aben Yud Zayin has with his father, specifically his lomad kol teir shalomad b'yeshiva shem v'ever. He learned by him that tsar and yoga and va'anocha, that gaguyim, that Rabbi Shem gave Yosef HaTzadik of Matana. He made him forget those regoshim, but he didn't forget Ovi at all. His Musutna stopped him from Chet. He remembered the Ovi, he remembered the lessons, the Limudim, the Mahalach HaChayim, the Heroes, HaYeshoros, so Yaakov Avinu of Chokak Dusa Kisei HaKovod, that he remembered very, very well, and that kept him going. He forgot the base of he forgot the Arum and Arum, the Gaguyim, but the Yisaidus of Ovi, he remembered very, very well. That's half of a fella, the Moshel that David HaMelech says in the pasuk of Kinshkachti Kameis Milev. Kinshkachti Kameis Milev, or Yisi Kechli Oived. What does David HaMelech need to add? This Moshel, I was like a Kli that's lost. So Rashi Taka says, Kechli Oived, that he forgets after Yud Beis Chodesh. After Yud Beis Chodesh, Kechli Oived. Stam Kli, La'ach Yud Beis Chodesh, Mishtachach Min Alev. The Yush Bailin, La'ach Yud Beis Chodesh. Yush on the Keli is after Yud Beis Chodesh. You don't think Machas anymore. That's what David Kechli Oived. What if Shab? That's what all a person is Kechli Oived. All a person is a Keli. And what is the necessity of a momentous? That's what you're comparing a nefesh Yisrael to momentous. A raya from forgetting a nefesh Yisrael, a tata mama, a nonte, as if you forget a steg a $1, a kopikis. That's a moshel. What's Miller from the moshel? That is half of a fella. The moshel is, was steht in Ponem Yofis, dort in the Tag Lamed Zak, Reishis Lamed Zayin Lamed Hey, bei Moin des Nachim. Ponem Yofis sagt, Gzeir al Ameis, Shetishtakach min Alev. Half of a fella sagt there, you say this. Every Yud Beis Chodesh, the mace remembers the Chai, and the Chai remembers the mace, and this Gaguyim going back and forth between one another. The Rebbeinu Shalom makes a Gzeira, al HaMace. The mace forgets the Chayim after Yud Beis Chodesh. The Chayim don't forget the mace at all, but the mace forgets the Chayim. But because there's no reciprocal transferring, osmosis, back and forth, morphing the Gaguyim into one another, growing Gaguyim, growing and growing, therefore it stops short. The mace forgets the Chayim, but the Chayim don't forget the mace. Therefore, Mayim upon him only works during Yud Beis Chodesh. After Yud Beis Chodesh, the mace forgets the Chai doesn't forget the mace. That's shot in the Losh Rashi. The Gemara doesn't say Gzeira, but Rashi says Gzeira. Gzeira, Nixra Gzeira, Shtakach min Alev, half of a fellow. The word Gzeira means a Gzeira, Gzeira Kosav, a Choik. The Gzeira means Metzatiltes. Man macht von dem Tag zwei Dinim. The mace is the Gzeira, the mace forgets. But the Chai doesn't forget. How vergessen the mace, how forgets the Chai, of the Chai that nicht forgets the mace. The Chai has to constantly remember the mace and the limudim of the mace and all that the mace stood for. And that's the pshat, like David HaMelech adds on the Pasuk, I was forgotten, like the mace forgets the Chai. But Chas Hashem, the Chai doesn't forget the mace, nor kechli oived. And he's like, that's what David HaMelech says, kechli, akeli is a diamond. Akeli is a diamond, akeli hadish kerugoshim. I'm forgotten after Yud Beis Chodesh, like Akeli. Akeli doesn't remember anything, but we can remember the Keli, the Bailam. That's why Rashi brings them from Bom Mitzvah. The Keli of Garnish Kentagis, Garnish Kentagis, Garnish Akeli lost. Over the Chai who's worried about his Keli that he lost, but after Yud Beis Chodesh, he forgets it. That's Akeli. Mominus forgets the Beis Chodesh. Over the Chai, the Keli doesn't have any Lagoshin. The Ramelech adds the Moshel, the Keli, to tell us that the mace exerts a custom, according to the Army office, to forget the Chai. But the Chai doesn't forget the mace one little bit. And that's our DIVREI aside from this Maimed, from the talk from the Yortzeit, especially the Eshti Yortzeit, that's not Beis Chodesh, as Exeir, as Moran, Moreno, and we were Shasino, Maimov, Madnu, Kolkach, Karosim, Menaisov, it's Exeir that he's forgetting us. He's forgetting us. But we're not forgetting him. There's no way that we're not going to continue our lives each day, each moment. Was of the Rebbe gesagt, to remember all the Hamoin Meisim that each Talmud remembers, and every single interaction that we remember that from Moreno Zatzal. The Gemara in Bracha steht, Chav Chesed Mabeis, Kishenichnasu Tamidov, Zeb Yechon ben Zakkai, when it was Choyle B'Yechon ben Zakkai, Chav Chesed Mabeis in Brachis, the Tamidim came in, and when he saw them, Kivin Shevro, Oisom, his Chil live guys. Stellt the Alte from Kelem. He started crying when he saw them. They said to him, why are you crying? And they say, I don't know. I see. Der Heilige Tag nicht gewusst, wo geht. So geht nicht gerne. Sagt der Alte von Kelem, I see you, Talmidim. That's why I'm crying when I see you. When I say you, Talmidim, I'm crying that maybe the chinuch that you got is not strong enough. Maybe you're going to go after you're going to do things that are not kefiruchi, specifically not kefiruach for the Eibishter, Achmad Latzan. And then there'll be malichin, I see, they'll take you in ganzen derech zu genem allein, Achmad Latzan. As if you stay take in the Shura Gramad, in the Drash, Amud, Pei, Beis, bring there. A mamish of them, zuschelt zu them. Bei Salevi hat gesagt, was im Pshat, a Mensch hat geben Din becheshben. You do it going, aber bei Salevi hat gesagt, Din means on the Meise. And cheshben is going on the hashpah that a person's Meise had on others, that they see him doing it, they do it as well. Sie stellt, der Moreno stellt zu, der Rav in Sefer, and then the Sefer Chumash, Karafti Aleichem LaMishpach, Vayisi Eit B'Mayer, Yom Adin HaGodol is Soif Kol HaCheshbonos of the Rav. Even someone who's sitting in Gan Eden is not betuach that by Yom Adin HaGodol is going to stay there. As if it's Mavur by Shmuel Tovi, in Mor Chagiga Davdal on the base, they told Shaul, if they're taking me out from the kever, maybe they'll be Tevei Mil Maybe Tevei Mil Din. Sagt Marino, Shul David, the Tzal Kosh Rocha, like the Beis Halevi, that you said of Din Mishpah means Din Cheshbon, Din on the Maisa, and Cheshbon is on the Ashpah that they had on others. So like them, what the Rav Zok, that the Yom Adin HaGodol is going to be the Soif Cheshbonos that they're not betuach if you're in Gan Eden now today. You night after all the diamonds go with Ashpah, Chas v'Sholom, a person can be schlepped out and they give him a Tavanel dinner of Monsan and Genemarine of Mol Sheizvin. Doesn't it pshat? Zok Moreno doesn't like the Beis Halevi. That's pshat Soif Kol Cheshbonos because it's going to be Ashpah the Soif Kol Deiros. Our Achrayus is Talmidim as a Holchem Mamshichim B'Darchav is this the Kuda the Bocha B'Shoshu cooked of uns. He doesn't know welche Derech Malichan I see. Der Chmon Lutzam soll nicht Goyim sein, soll schleppen, wegschleppen dem Reben von seinen lichtigen Platz in Gan Eden durch unsere Meisters nach Chmon Lutzam. This is our Achrayus. This is what this Yom Azikaron, this Yom, this Maimed von Gedenken, Ibersorgen sein Drochim, Ibersorgen sein Meistern, we machazik one another to go on his ways. Wegzuwerfen alle die mechanischen Fähigkeiten, alle die Meisters, all the Ashpoyes was we have mit unserem Mitzrayim, mit unserem Dor, and to live Taka, like we all know, everyone says the same thing. Dass wir geguckt auf dem Leben, dass wir geguckt auf 100 Jahre zurück, weil wir ausgeguckt haben, Taten, Seiden, den Elfzeiten, wir ausgeguckt die Friede Gedäunis, hat nicht gar kein Schum, Cheshben, other than what the Ratzon Hashem is. Es Taka wird gebracht in the Shur Gamad, and Omid Reish Bob, this is something that we have to mechazik ourselves in. They used to say that, we heard it from many times, one of the ways that is the most productive and the most successful and guaranteed ways to mechanech our children. Who doesn't want to see Am Yisrael Nachas? We want to see our children growing in the way that we saw unser Rabbeim. He says, how you mechanech them in three things: in Avos HaTorah, in Yirah Shamayim, and in Midas Tovis. One of the ways is with Sipurim, with Gedaya Dairis. He says that's how his father, the Rav, was mechanech them, and cooked of Zay, we said that alle Dairis was the Kinder, the Enichel, can send grace affairs, Baruch Hashem. So we see that the end from the Vegan, the Rav was very marked to me, mechanech was Aidei Sipurim Isis from Gedayim, and as much as he was such a master with the Rav, such a gewaltiger Amke in a Landam, aber he gave him Shlois Aruchis and gave him Mechanech sein, ich will sagen, Meissen, can do it every Meissen, but wie es immer geben beim Messiah. Das ist nicht nur a pastime, nicht nur wenn you have to have downtime, you have to chill, you have to Geschmack, you have to sagen, Meissen. Das ist ein Weg von Mechanech sein. Sometimes the only way to Mechanech is to stell zu, wie hat der Friedrich der ist getan in der Matze. And now we should do that way. Then he tells zu something happened to a fella that to gefinzach. It's not enough to say stories over, but that's to gefinnen v'svivois in the dalaramis of tzaddikim and tzaddikim amitiyim. Look at their ways, which therefore that precludes the unser Merkan door from them and kinder and plätze in Musupik. Should we go? Shouldn't we go? Is it separate mix? Is this a place where I'm going to be able to mechanech my children to go to Zayin B'Derov, to Zayin B'Moran, to Zayin? Is it a way? Is he going to see things over there that's going to bring him Avos HaTorah, or Abrechel Yerushalayim, or the Addicted Mitzvahs, or the Midas Tovos? If not, that does allein the time nicht zu gehen dorten. Das ist sehr vorsichtig sein, die Sachen. We can't expect our children to grow just because we saw what we saw. They're automatically going to go in such a way. There's no automatische Sachen. No control. Aber eingeben Keuches in the Kinder und the Wege that they would mechanech and the Eufen that they were mechanech. We heard many times from Marina Zatzal. And the Rambam Soif Hilchos Malachim. The Rambam says, don't bother figuring out who's going to come first, second, and third. Mashiach, Tchias HaMesim, Eliyahu Hanavi, how it's going to go, who it's going to go. Even Chazal have machlekes and Rambam. But don't bother spending time on it. You know why? Because Einoi maybe loyli de avosai, loyli de yerosai. It doesn't bring avos Hashem. It doesn't bring yiras Hashem. So anytime Marina would see people schmoozing and hacking and maching and reading police, so break loyli de avosai, loyli de yerosai. Ram sagt, es werden becken Mashiachim. It's nicht maybe loyli de avos, loyli de yira. Es wird doch wegen die Sachen, es nicht maybe loyli de avos, loyli de yira. Werden nicht wegen them. When we get into conversations with Chaverim or with Bnei Mishpacha, is this a conversation that brings the day of Vosef Yerosei Tzelish? Das darf man wissen, das darf man trachten. Und noch dann darf man wissen, der Rambam sagt, Hilchos with HARAV SHMUEL YESHAYA, we heard from him so many times, the Rambam might speak about Prikatina, that the bunch of wants you should help a Yid unload and load, because otherwise, since a person's chas al mamoinoi, he's not going to stop, and he's going to go keep on trying until Achmon Tzana and get the back from the belt. So the Rambam, aber der Weinstrom hat lieb jeden Jid und also bleiben lebendig. Why? Me'achar shehinilvim al Hashem u'ma'aminim b'ikar hados. Me'achar shehinilvim al Hashem u'ma'aminim b'ikar hados. When does the Weinstrom not want someone to be nifted? Even if he's a ROSH. We're talking about, you saw the Chazal already saying, we're talking about Ozev Tazev, Vashlit Targum, leave the sinner that you have for him. But why do you have a sinner for him? Because you saw him doing it Dvar Avera. Dvar Avera Chazal mean erva. You saw him doing it forever. And if we're supposed to have sin to him, or not when you have to help him for Prikatina. And then he told us you have to turn the button on and turn the button off. The emotion, you can only help a person with Prikatina if you're going to be able to have Ava to him. So while you see him suffering with the Prikatina, you have to turn on the button of Ava, and then because of the Ava, then you help a Prikatina. Then right afterwards, you have to turn the button of Shina back on Tachasinas and Asim like Marili, because he's married to the Baruch and took Avos and took Erva. But Amunah, Nilvam El Hashem, Mamina Bikados, Lo Yitzir, a person is not Maimin B'Hashem, is not Nilvam El Hashem, and not Maimin Bikados, then there's no Indian and Prikatina, as I would argue them right now. As I state Rambam. The Rambam says that he brings the Psukim in the Cheskel, the Chayonin of Hashem and Mechvus Moisa Meis, the Kim Tshuva Shetaka V'choya is only if Ma'aminim Nilvam El Hashem or Ma'aminim Bikados. That's not. You heard from many times. That's right, man. Nilvam El Hashem Ma'aminim Bikados. Yeah, we know the Geduad, the Rav, the Lahoyge Deis Badin. The Baruch takes Hashkofis also into Din, not just Meisim, also Hashkofis. Don't break the Taka. Lahoyge Deis Badin different. For Ma'aminim Bikados and not Nilvam Hashem, the Baruch is not going to have any reason to keep this person alive. In Shura Gamad Taka and Josh brings it from the Rav of Shmuel. Nachab Din b'Cheshbon. Din is what he did, and Cheshbon is the things, the consequences of his own ma'asim, not on other people, of his own ma'asim. Before we spoke about the dashboard on others, but the Rav said Nachab even that one is on the Etzim Trukin of ma'asim, and the Cheshbon is going to have a taitzah from his ma'asim and everybody. L'moshel, the Baruch asked Adam Rishon Ayeka. Ayeka was the din of the Rav. The din of hiding from the Baruch. It was a din. As I stated in Yonason, there was a tviyah on hiding. That was din. And what's cheshbon? Cheshbon is after Adam Rishon answered. It's called Cheshamati Bagon. And after Baruch told him cheshbon dik. Oh, my cheshbon. You tell me this? That the Aaron must be 8 days of das. That's cheshbon. Kumtais American Kazakh. Kumtais on the din. The Baruch was mourning on Rishon on the Yeka on the hiding. The hiding is nicht Maisa Avera. Nicht Maisa Avera. Hiding from the Baruch was a Maisa Avera. No, it's nicht richtig Ashkafe. On Rishon, whatever the Cheshbon was, wir haben nicht gemusst, or Rishon, aber the Rishon gemeint, kann sich behalten von der Ebster. The Yeka, that was already a Tviyah and Ashkafe. The Ashkafe from hiding. The din was an Ashkafe. So we must from the Rav. That the Hoige Deis Badin, the Hoige Deis, the Baruch is Hoige Arashkofis, Badin also. The Taitzah was the Cheshbon, it's called Shamati, who told you your Aaron. So must be the 8 Fates Adas. As I stated, the Hoige Deis Badin. Das ist unser Achayes in die Tag. Die Tag, was kommt vorbei, der Grace ist Achayes, von Marino, der Zere alle Menschen, die stark mit Alev, the Meses, Shechech, Oisonu, we're not Shechech one little bit. Was up deeper, Bachshem, the Swarm, a Wuma Gate, a Wuma Land, Kotchum Wuma Land, under the sectors, Alts is Shrew, God, Ali, all the Britain, no matter where they learn. So learn, they learn from this Swarm. when the Sefer Josh is a gold mine, I heard very musmach that Moreno, the Chaim Kanevsky, so sein gesucht stark, when he said Shiva, so he went to the Sefer cover to cover, the Shura Gemara and Josh, and he went and he asked for copies for his children. So we get musmach. The Pshat is das the Lernen des Forum, gucken die Sachen, wir setzen Cyrus, wir setzen dort, wir packen dort eine ganze hunderte Blätter von Meises, von den Däumen von Amol. Und durch dann können wir gaan zijn die Kinder, und auf seinen Gseder, Eze Derech Malichen, I see, where gaat show with Malichen, and of whom we gate. I just want to mention this morning, I was here in Toronto for HAYESHIVA, Baruch Hashem, and Punkt met, many Talmidim, but gesagt, zwei kurze Meises, nicht sensational Meises, nicht übergebrachte Meises, nur Meises, dass jeder versteht. He says he was learning in Yeshiva, the Mal learned the most 2 years as Bocher. He stayed 3 years, and after he stayed 3 years, so Moreno thought maybe Taka stay for us on a Celtic Shidduch. So he told him, yeah, get sick in America, Tana Shidduch. So he says, so Moreno told him, Efshasi is da. So he looked at him, he smiled at him, okay, nice try. Efshasi is da. Kachava, what happened? He went back to America. Then he decided for his service. He came back in Elsman. After that, came to Shul, went back to America to Shiva Sakramat. And Punkte given, that was a Takachasnakat with her. She was here teaching in any from the seminars, but to get the Sachen geworden. The Efshas is da, sagt he, Kishkola Yosef Piashalat as Efshas is da. Then he said, noch am meisten, he knows from a first hand from a Chaver that given a Sachio noch Chasna on Kinder, sehr schwer. On Chasna on Kinder, da Sachio noch Chasna, sehr schwer. So einmal, Moreno hat getroffen und gesagt, no, wie geht? Sagt so wie allemal. Sagt also, das Loschen. Einmal kommt die Yeshua und man weiß nicht, das ist doch alles Beatznis. Und das Baratag geworden, in jener Tag, ich war schon geworden, die Yeshua. Schon geworden, Nacht geworden, Woche schon Geist gesprochen. Das ist the care that he had for all of us. You can tell Meisen by Ruch Hashem Shoyz and Ruchas of him that came to the Geis of Maimed next to Shell when I was a Bocher at Shell, besides all Sachen that's gedruckt in Yeshuren, as a Bocher, so the Dr. Shusheim decided that I had the Lechet Prakim. He decided I had rheumatic fever. I had a Poshtel bronchitis, a Poshtel flu. They never made fever. Sending me for test. A Bocher Alene at Shell, who knows what? The rheumatic fever sounds so dangerous. But doom for the yard. So I went to the hospital for the grace test. So who do I see? I'm there alone. Who do I see at the other end of the hall about to go into the test? Come the Rebbitzin soll sein gesund stein. The Rebbitzin are da. The Rebbe said, yeah, it was such a chizik, I can't tell you. He sent the Rebbitzin because at the link to the time this from there gewesen. Aber the meisten Rebbitzin Kedua speaks a perfect fluent English and she'll be beside all the Sachen. She has to practice have to be in the Cheshman, especially with the last name that she is set for. And it's like gegangen and geschmiert. Das ist Pshat, and every takes care of Talmidim. After fella. Yeah. So Asach zu sagen, Asach meistens hier Sefer for sure with Tim Sarbenachas. Grace Shkoyach to Shleimer that he took 1,300 pages of the Torah from Moreno Zatzal. Besides the Sefer that came out of Rambam and then not from Shem. Our Achayis is to keep up the Zikaron. It's not an Xera on us to be Mishtachach. It's Xera on the mace to Mishtachach the Chai. Chas V'shal Na'an the Chai to Mishtachach. And we have to remember, Kidashani Elakim, as Kol Amoli, as Kol Beis Ovi, not the Ovi, just the Beis Ovi. So the Gagurium and the sadness and the grief, thus the Baruch takes away from us, and Matana take away from us, Achiyud Beis Chodesh. But the Genen sein Wegen, und all die Sachen. I remember when I first moved back to Chicago, I told my Rebbitzin, was einweg in der Stube, aber it never happened that Rebbe will come to Chicago. Aber was mir bringt eine Stube darf sein, at der Rebbe verteilt in der Stube, wird sein zu finden, so het halb the nose and like that's the thing either. That's all of us should take on this litmus, this barometer. What comes into the house? Well, does it come in Moreno's house? Would this come into the Yitzchak Halotzov? Would this be something that he would be happy about? Would this be, versteht sich noch dem Dachwechel mit dem Eibste, aber der Kleinlieder, der Schliach Zibur von der Nachasruach von der Eibste ist wie so Moreno, was wollte gehabt haben? Would he macht es, listen to Stub, wollte das getan in Stub, wollte das getan in sein Leben. That has to be our Kleinlieder. Und wir gehen die Wegen und machen Din und Cheshben for what our consequences on ourselves, a sign wisely that a consequences make on others. And then we'll talk about Zoicha, that the Nechmas Tzir Rishalayim, the grace of Shekaya for Shloime, from the Masadi, the ganze Maimid, and the Zikaron, also was at Giton, the Zikaron from Reinu,